Unlike storms or hurricanes, they come without warning. The ground shakes violently, buildings crumble, and in just seconds, entire cities can be brought to their knees. Throughout history, humanity has witnessed many powerful quakes, but some stand out as the deadliest and most destructive of all time. A 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck at dawn, lasting only 20 seconds, but in that short time, it destroyed nearly 250,000 homes. 6,000 people lost their lives, and hundreds of thousands were left homeless. Kobe, one of Japan's proudest port cities, was set back decades. But Japan was not alone. In 1976, the city of Tangshan, China, was hit by a catastrophe few could ever imagine. At 3:42 in the morning, while families slept peacefully, the earth shook with unimaginable force. In minutes, 85% of the city was gone. Official reports said over 240,000 people died, but some believe the true number was far higher, possibly more than 600,000. Tangshan remains one of the deadliest earthquakes in recorded history. Fast forward to 2015, Nepal, nestled in the mighty Himalayas, was devastated by a 7.8 magnitude earthquake. Ancient temples, villages, and homes collapsed. Nearly 9,000 people were killed, and thousands more were injured. To make matters worse, the earthquake triggered a massive avalanche on Mount Everest, sweeping through base camp and killing climbers in an instant. It was one of the darkest days in Nepal's history. China once again suffered tragedy in 2008 when the Sichuan earthquake struck. This 8.0 magnitude disaster lasted for 2 full minutes. Entire towns were flattened, highways destroyed, and chemical plants collapsed, releasing toxic materials. But the most heartbreaking scenes came from schools, where thousands of children were trapped under rubble. In total, nearly 70,000 people lost their lives. South America too has felt nature's fury. In February 2010, Chile was struck by an enormous 8.8 magnitude earthquake. The shaking lasted for 3 minutes, toppling buildings and triggering a deadly tsunami that spread destruction across the Pacific. Nearly 80% of Chile's population felt its power. Over 500 people were killed, and billions in damage was left behind. But this was not Chile's first disaster. In 1960, the country was hit by the most powerful earthquake ever recorded in human history, the Great Valdivia earthquake. With a magnitude of up to 9.6, the earth split open, villages were wiped away by tsunamis, and 2 million people were left homeless. To this day, no earthquake has ever been stronger. Alaska too holds a place in earthquake history. In 1964, a 9.2 magnitude earthquake struck for more than 4 minutes. The land ripped apart, huge cracks opened in the earth, and tsunamis washed away coastal towns. Thankfully, because the area was sparsely populated, the death toll remained relatively low. Even Russia was not spared. In 1952, the Kamchatka earthquake shook the eastern coast with a magnitude of 9.0. It unleashed massive tsunamis, some reaching 18 meters high. Waves traveled across the Pacific, hitting Hawaii just hours later. Thousands of people were killed, and entire villages along the Kamchatka Peninsula were swept away. But perhaps one of the most unforgettable disasters happened on December 26, 2004. A magnitude 9.1 earthquake struck under the Indian Ocean, near Sumatra. The quake lasted nearly 10 minutes, the longest ever recorded. Then came the tsunami. Waves over 100 feet high smashed into the coasts of Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India, Thailand, and beyond. In total, 14 countries were affected, and more than 227,000 lives were lost. It was one of the deadliest natural disasters in modern history. Japan, a land known for earthquakes, suffered one of its darkest days in 2011. A 9.1 magnitude quake struck off the coast, unleashing a tsunami that swallowed entire towns. The waves reached over 40 feet high, moving the island of Honshu 8 feet to the east. Nearly 20,000 lives were lost, but the disaster did not end there. The tsunami crippled the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, causing a meltdown that forced hundreds of thousands to flee their homes. It remains the worst nuclear disaster since Chernobyl. These earthquakes remind us of something humbling. No matter how advanced human technology becomes, we can never control the power of the earth. In a matter of minutes, centuries of progress can be undone. Cities can vanish, lives can be lost, and entire nations can be left reeling. Earthquakes are unpredictable, unstoppable, and devastating. And they serve as a chilling reminder that beneath our feet lies a force far greater than us all. Globe heartbreak.